I'm so relaxed.
This is our norm. This is how I wake up.
This is
We should actually not air this because if a man thinks this is what we look like when we wake up, he's in for one fucking massive disaster.
I'm sorry, I look adorable.
You look adorable, but do you wake up like this?
No, absolutely.
If you do, then get out of my bed.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to reach a Serenity card now because it's too far away. We can just say blessed be. What I wanted to say, or just welcome to that side of the bed. No one has ever occupied it.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I feel like this foam has never been touched.
It probably like it hasn't. Like my cats don't even sleep on that side because it's too hard for them. Obviously, nothing has been molded in. It's fresh.
Gosh,
it's fresh. It's from December.
Well, you know, it's my side of the bed now.
Well, you're welcome.
This is my side.
Are you? Do you steal duvet? Are you like a? Are you a quiet little silent sleeper? Or
Yeah.
You steal duvet?
No. I lie like on my side. Like if I wake up in the morning, the other side of my bed is completely undisturbed.
100%. But I mean, when someone else sleeps with you, you like roll in the duvet and like I do that. I would turn to that side and like just take
You're
a bit of
asking me to reach for like a memory that I haven't had to access in a really long time because no one's slept in my bed for quite a while now.
Fair. But I mean, surely you know. I know I'm a duvet sneaker stealer. I've been told that.
Okay.
I'm most likely in future, if I ever get married, I would have to do the Denmark thing where they have like two. Firstly, they must sleep in 2 different bedrooms.
It's literally the most perfect situation.
It's a thing. I mean, I'm a yes and no girl on that. I would just buy like an extra large king. Extra length, extra wide, massive.
A California king.
100%.
We can roll over like 6 times without any stray. Yeah.
But then what they also do is, some people in America do this also, is they have 2 separate duvets and then they have a big comforter underneath, over it all. So like no one's stealing the blankets in the middle of the night because that can also cause a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And fights.
Listen, I met a couple this past weekend and I asked the chick if I could borrow her toothpaste. Classic. I forgot mine. Yeah. Like typical.
There always has to be one in the group.
Yeah.
You're there.
And then left 4.5 hours out of Cape Town and left my face wash behind. Thank you for Pudo.
Is it the Xpenny face?
Yes. I was actually going to ask you for a couple pumps. I was going to buy some of you.
Listen, if I'm not a friend that can offer a pump, then I'm not a friend. You're so welcome to get a pump after this.
I'm like micellar watering the fuck out of my face at the moment.
Is it Anna Reid's face wash?
Yes.
Lord be, you cannot forget that. You need to have one of those tags, like an Apple Air tag that just pings as soon as you leave the house.
Okay, so on the toothpaste, there was one of those like toothpaste squeegee things.
What an efficient person.
And I was like, oh my god, look at you, this is so cute. She's like, it's called a marriage saver. Oh. And I was like, oh my god, that's brilliant, because she goes, he always squeezes from the middle of the tube and she always needs to squeeze from the bottom of the tube. So now they've got the thing that collects all the toothpaste at the top so that they don't have
divorce.
Yeah.
Sure, she's locking it in.
Locked in.
So my neighbours also, she said to me, her mother bought them a dishwasher when they got married, saying, let me save your marriage from the beginning.
Listen, it literally is.
I love all these little saving marriage tips.
I know, especially considering the fact that we're getting married any moment now.
No. You are getting married any moment now. Shall we dig into that little nugget?
I mean, we can. What? I went on a date.
This is the perfect time because we're in bed and we're going to speak about boys. Boys in bed. Boys in bed.
Love it.
I'm not going to have much to talk about. This might be a solo monologue episode for you.
My favourite kind. No, I'm joking.
Okay, so you've been on a date and it was obviously lovely.
I went on a date, it was very cute. I must be honest, we drank a lot. But I think that's normal for like a first date, to just kind of get past the awkwardness.
Yeah, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like the one braving it like a Sunday morning 8 a.m. walk with a coffee in I think Greenpoint Park, and I'm like, fuck, I wish I drank.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you've actually got the better strategy, considering the type of man we are trying to currently be like locking down.
I don't know, it hasn't been fucking successful, mate. Like we have some dating disasters we can also speak about, but thank you, sure, no worries.
I wish I could go on a date without needing to drink like 6 double vodkas.
But listen, back in the day when I drank, I did that.
Yes.
I mean, I was in a quick little fling with a sat diver. I told you about this guy.
No.
It was a sat diver. Orb as can be. Strange little carrot. Because obviously if you live under the ocean like Ariel, you are going to be a bit
It must be
strange.
loaded though.
Loaded.
That's the
Loaded.
best.
I think on the third date, he basically said to me, "Yo, like my girlfriends and my wives don't need to work. Like the partner in
The
his life,
hypotheticals. Okay.
yeah, they don't need to work because they have enough. He has a house in Bloberg, which is like house in Bloberg.
Any property in Cape Town at the moment is a hot commodity
Listen,
to be aged.
also, I'm not gonna diss it. 100% agree. And yeah, and then he just basically said that, but he was a bit of a weirdo,
Sure.
and he also didn't want to go to Spur ever.
His name wasn't Stephen Black, was it?
No, I don't even remember his name.
I'll bleep that out, but
I don't even remember his name actually. Oh, victim number 6748. I don't know. Anyway, but it was just the first night he took me to like a very fancy-ish restaurant in Kloof. It's not there anymore. Ordered like a most incredible bottle of red wine, and I remember I sat down. I picked up the glass, and I had the first sip, and I just remember shaking, uncontrollably shaking, because I was so nervous.
Oh my gosh!
But he was like ultra ego, like not ego.
mania.
No, he was like mad. He ordered for the table. I just sat there. I was
I'm
like,
sorry, take me home.
Yeah, I
like,
was, and he ordered all the right things as well.
oh, it's
Doubled
my
down on the
favorite.
bread course.
Mm.
Then like he had all the good stuff. None of the weird, icky, weirdy stuff.
Yeah.
But then after that, he was ob as can be. Like I would never in my life spend a second. Yeah, he was the strangest man.
Morning, Ollie. You coming for an egg?
Listen, this cat must just live his best life. Blind as can be, smelling his way through life. Ollie, would you draw a Serenity Now card for us because we can't, because we're going to mess up the sound.
We can't get there.
But anyway, that was my little sad diver. So my point being, I think I was drunk throughout that dating experience.
Right.
Like every single date we got a bit tipsy. And I remember at one stage, I don't know which club it was, but it was like in a Seidel Street in Hout Street or whatever. Not a club, but like a karaoke. I think it's House Machines or something.
Yes, okay.
Can you believe that? Can you imagine me there?
Short Market, yes.
Yeah, whatever, Short Market. One of the market streets, whatever. I remember I was so tipsy, we were making art, so tipsy. And then the bouncer came and he slapped a glass on the table next to us for us to stop.
And then you're probably like, sorry, hi.
Sorry,
I'm Elsj.
hey, coming from A, sure, let's get another drink, So that that was hectic.
Oh my god, hilarious.
Hectic,
Look at you.
Look at me living my best. I think that was 2019.
Oh my
Before
god,
COVID.
you're wild.
Wild back in the day.
Listen, that was like still in your 20s.
No. Was it?
Yes.
I'm 36 this year.
Fine. Okay,
it's 30. I was like 30.
Okay.
No, my 20s I was like reclusive nun.
I'm so excited.
We're
going to get into this now.
We have to get into this now, but we have to get into yours now because we didn't finish wrapping up your...
Oh.
I would, sorry to interrupt. I would be curious to know if this date was nicer because you met him off the bat, like in a social setting, versus like being on an app chatting to him and going to meet him. I would be interested to know because you've done both dating experiences.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can cut this out, but you've done the one where you went to like everyone came to network and meet each other. What do you call it? A singles night?
Yeah.
Went to a singles night, and then you've done obviously the dating on Hinge. And I would be curious to know if you experienced and felt like a difference in character of people there, people's intentions.
100% in a huge way. I think I actually did reflect on this, and I realized I also went to the singles night with a friend.
Sure, that's nice. That's cool.
Which made a huge... I think having never done it before, I can't compare going alone versus going with a friend. But I know straight off the bat, I can say like when I didn't have someone to talk to, it was just so nice to have someone there to like kind of socialize with. But other than that, I'm that person who thought that I'd be way too cool to go to a singles night because I was just like, oh no, like I'm not that desperate.
Sure.
But having gone,
you're not. I'll repeat. Just as a joke.
I mean, maybe.
I would be, but anyway, next.
But having gone, I actually can't recommend it enough because it was so cool to be in a room of people that are like just willing and eager to start a conversation. They're there with the intention of meeting people, be that on a friendship level or more. You can walk away from it without meeting someone and have still had a cool night out and just kind of suss what's happening in the dating pool, or like I did, get married.
100%, 110%. Having children, bare feet, getting married.
We hippies in the mountains.
Basically.
But no, it was very cool. It felt like a very different vibe to like just going out and trying to meet someone, comparatively to online dating. My friend My friend that I was with last night said to me, what if, what if you were chatting to someone and then they ended up leaving with someone else at the end of the night? And I was like,
Oh, it most
that
likely
level of
happens.
rejection,
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to handle. So that's where it was like, I was like, fuck, it could actually go that badly, where like you think you've got a chance to someone, they're actually interested in someone else.
I'm sure that happens. I mean, yeah,
And
that
that would feel
definitely.
like online dating all over again,
Yeah,
because that's
sure.
exactly what Hinge and all the online
But just to
dating
your
apps.
face.
Even worse.
Hectic. See, I like the comment you made. You like that you went with a friend. I don't know if I actually want friends around me when I'm trying to date because I just feel so awkward.
Well, the thing again, go without wanting to try to date. Just go for a night out, but you're doing
You're
it
literally
around
asking me,
people.
yeah, you're literally asking me to part the Red Sea. Go with the intention to a date in the evening to not date. Like, obviously, my mind would be racing and just thinking about all the husbands I'm going to meet. Sorry, it's just not going to be feasible for me. I think I'll have to be on so much Alzam or like calming
We need to
tablets.
get you to like a golf club.
A golf club? You
Yeah.
really as I have no rotation in my lower body at the moment. Like it's going to take at least 3 more
No, not
months.
to play, just to hang out in the.
You know what? Someone has actually said that to me. So I think in 2020, just after 2020, when the lockdown was semi-lifted, and you can drive to spaces and stuff. I had like a little life coach. I don't know if I ever told you about Tanya Amanda.
Mm-mm.
Swedish Chips Old Tanny in Durbanville.
Cute.
And you went, or I went every morning or every Monday morning for 3 or 4 hours, like half a
Okay.
day.
Okay.
And she would just fucking dump information into you, and it was life changing. It really was
That's
amazing.
amazing.
And I think we got into the topic of because you have to obviously ask what do you want for your life, blah blah blah. And her husband was on there, and did she not say to me, okay, great. So what your task for this week is you're gonna get ready, get dressed, and go sit at a golf club. Like it was a golf club, yacht club, any like club format.
Mm.
Rugby club unfortunately didn't feature, which was sad.
That's sad because that
But I think
is
the rugby
prime
clubs,
pickings.
yeah, I know, but I think it's maybe also young prime
Right, right,
pickings.
right, right, right.
But literally, it's just me try even the hotel bar, the international hotel bar. I was like, Tanya is like in the 70s, and
Tony Amanda.
but literally, this Tanya had game, and I sat there. I was like, you've got to be like, I did not expect this sweet Tanya for like
Mm.
8 weeks now.
Go get a girl.
Like literally listing all I swear to God, if I said to her where's a golf club, she would like have a printout ready for me for the clubs of South Africa
That's amazing.
in like order of like the membership fees,
Should
whatever.
we just go sit in like a hotel bar, like a really fancy hotel bar sometime?
We definitely can. I just think you're gonna get a lot of one night stands there because obviously you're like in town quick sticks.
Right.
So unless we know we'll be labeled as pretty women all over.
I mean,
Pretty Women did turn out successful. That's a very bad analogy, the movie.
yeah.
But we can Google membership fees of golf clubs and go sit there.
Sure. I mean, Rondebosch Golf Club, let's go.
Is Rondebosch Golf Club good?
It's okay. That's where Erica plays.
Sure, but I mean, we need to like level more now. What's the one across Paulsmoor? Steenberg.
Steenberg. Oh, we could go to Steenberg.
Well, our luck would be just attracting someone from Paulsmoor. Let's just be honest. Anyway, that's a horrific start. But anyway, so we are here talking about boys and dating experience.
Yes.
Boys in bed.
Boys in bed.
With breakfast served.
So I thought we could start at the very beginning. Who was your first ever boyfriend?
Oh, Lord B. I remember when we prepped for this and you asked me, I was like, Bianca, firstly, mine's going to be short. And then secondly, I was a very big rebel, was now. Because obviously I came from a very small town, 2 hours from Cape Town. And dating there is very much your high school sweetheart scenario. Like I know one or two couples from school, maybe just one, maybe two, that they were boyfriend and girlfriend in school and they married till this day with kids, alles. Which is wild, but just like what you watch in the movies. Like I can
Yes.
really, there's a couple of people that I know. Actually, no, my eldest cousin and them are actually married
The same.
from school, the same. So I know many. That's kind of how that gig works.
Is that like the blueprint for small town dating?
I would say that's the successful blueprint. You know what I mean? Like that's your ideal. That's your game plan. So you meet someone in your school or like surrounding schools from like participating in sport days, which I never did. So my pool was very small. You do something there, and if it's not there, you're gonna go to Stellenbosch and study there, and you're gonna meet someone.
Right.
And I remember there was a girl from our school. She was a couple of years ahead of me, and I think there was a rumor that she said to her family that she needs to continue to do her masters because she hasn't met a husband yet, just to stay in Stellenbosch longer to meet someone. And I think she's single till this very day. So honey problems.
It's a cotton sock.
Yeah, so she
Shame.
did that.
Is she still doing her mask?
God, I hope not. I think, yeah, I don't know where she lives, but I remember that was a very clear.
Sure.
So
See, when parents put that level of expectation
I
on
don't think it
you,
was the parents. It was just the community, the small town community of this is how it works. This is kind of how it can work out for you. This is your game plan.
yeah.
And then after school, if you were in Bonneville and you were working, then you were hanging out, going to this still happens. Like every weekend you go to you have a network, and this network is aggressively supporting you to find you a boot or whatever is in that community, like a
Right.
businessman or whatever that's in the community.
Interesting.
You go to all the dances, and hopefully throughout lang Arm Afrikaans sokkie dances, and hopefully throughout that you meet someone.
Can we go to sokkie?
Oh my god, I would love to see it a sokkie. Can you sokkie?
I'm gonna say yes.
Really?
I don't know. I've never done it.
No.
Surely you just get thrown around.
100% not.
Yeah. Oh, what?
No. Oh my god, we have to go. Can we go? Should we body cams and then we can go anyway? But that's how that dating pool worked. So the problem is with that little setup. If you don't have a boyfriend in school, and you're not in that vibrant community where people are going to invite you to a lot of bars afterwards, you're going to be super isolated. But also, like, the community is kind of not in charge. I mean, it sounds so hectic. It sounds a bit Mormonish, but like you lean a lot on your community to introduce you and take you to places or whatever the case may be. So dating there looks a lot different.
So like there's not much initiative taken because it's kind of done.
No, there is initiative taken, but it's just like that's your pool, that's your community.
Right,
this is how it works. I think the template of this is how it works, quote unquote, is a little bit stronger. So my example is like I didn't connect with anyone in my school, and I think I met this guy through my cousin who also came from Pretoria, so big city people.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Damn, girl.
Exactly.
Get a neck tattoo while you're at it.
You know, 110%. And my first boyfriend came from the heart of Cape Town.
Wow.
Like literally down the road from us.
Oh my gosh, and said, are you still in contact?
No. I can't find it online. Obviously, back then, there wasn't anything like Facebook, whatever, that we connected on.
You must have broken his heart.
I mean, I did break up with him abruptly also at one point. But yeah, it was a weird relationship, obviously. But he was in the heart of Cape Town.
Wow.
So I remember when he came to Bonneville, everyone was like, just like who? Like, he just also looked different. Like, he was in the first team hockey team. He was ripped as can be. And I mean, if you saw me, it was insane that I had this level quality boyfriend, look-wise. But he also was not part of that community. So I remember I took him to a sokkie once. Could not sokkie. Big problem.
I mean, he must have been, shunned.
He was. So was I.
Right.
You know what I
By
mean?
association.
But sure. I mean, I was shunned in general, so it was fine. I was just like, look at me, And I remember he came for a school holiday, and some kids in my class made the joke, like, after the school holiday, I'm going to have, like, six-pack lips from making out the whole time, because obviously I'm so young and whatever. But I mean, it was wild, and I had that one boyfriend, and then school, and then life stuff happened, and that was kind of my first boyfriend. And I had him for 3 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
I think.
That's amazing.
I can't even remember.
For 3 years.
Yeah, I kept him for 3 years and I returned him to society. I can't remember actually.
Sorry, that's quite an interesting dynamic considering the fact that he was in Cape Town. Like, was it long distance? So it was a long distance.
Remember, this is when like airtime 30 rand, 29 rand airtime.
Was Mixit even around?
Mixit, it was just before Mixit.
Okay.
I think it was just before Mixit, and I pretty much am sure we texted each other on a Nokia 3310.
Okay.
And you still made the emojis with like all the letters and
with
the little
punctuation.
Yes, punctuation. Yeah. I think it was very much in that space.
Yeah, Mixit.
Or in MMS was like 5 rand and eats all your airtime.
Oh,
remember?
MMS's.
Remember that?
My God, did you buy each other like ringtones?
I think we most likely did now that you mention it, but I don't remember. Gosh. Yeah, anyways, I think I blocked it also because I just don't remember much from that time. But
that is hilarious.
And you?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my first boyfriend, I think we met at like a school mixer. Like,
that's cute.
Like between our two schools, they invited some boys from that school and some girls from our school.
Because you were in an all-girls school.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously.
So they did a little mixer, and obviously wait. Oh, sorry.
Rewind.
Let's go all the way back. I had my first boyfriend when I was 12.
Wow, power move. Girl knows what she wants.
It was just seconds after my father had died, and I was like, I need a man in my life so badly.
This is so depressing on so many levels. Jeez. But
it was so funny. So I think we were together for like a year, from 12 to 13.
So
But
trauma bonding. That's
trauma
actually
bonding.
Sure.
All we did was see each other like on a Saturday and like swim around in the pool.
So play dates.
It was play dates, and he refused to ever kiss me. And I think that's why I eventually broke up with him, because I was like, why? I'm like 13 years old. Why are you not kissing me? I don't understand.
So I just want to understand, do we classify this now as a boyfriend or just a general hostage situation? Sorry, but this question
it was very hostagey. I feel like it was like a total sympathy thing. Like he was just like this poor woman.
Yeah, and I just love the girl with the dead dad.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's horrendous.
Shame. Let me just help her through this.
Are you still in contact with him?
We were up until like probably when I was in my 20s. Like if we were to see each other on the streets now, we would greet each other.
Would you recognize him? I wouldn't recognize my first
boyfriend. God, he was drop dead.
And now?
He was so hot. He's an electrician. I love a man in trade.
But what's the point? I mean, my point is he attractive now?
I feel like he was hotter as a young boy.
As a child. Okay, cool.
Am I allowed to reflect on that?
Well, if you're reflecting from the child point of view, so you're okay. You're safe. You're safe. Shame people that flake after school. So sad. Anyway, I went to my prime. So grateful.
I know you really did. You're still peaking.
Thank God.
I'm convinced. I don't think I've had my glow up yet. Like I'm really hoping it's still coming. Because if it's not, that means I peaked in high school.
I haven't seen photos of you in high school. Maybe we should have a day where you just spread all your photos and be like, sorry, B, you peaked. Yeah. Imagine someone does that. I would die.
I might have. It might be
I think we're living our best at this moment in time.
There's going to be some cracking. Yeah, I just have to reposition. Oh, sorry. So
this is our commitment to sound quality and everyone just hearing everything perfectly. Is apologizing for any little uncomfortable twist. We are dying on this side of performing here just because we have to make sure our sound is perfect.
Oh. Okay, so that was my first boyfriend in my mind. Then I had my next
mind. This is getting better and better, y'all.
Then I had the next one. I was like serial dating from the age of 12 basically. So then I dated another guy for about a year and liked him. I wouldn't say loved him, but then met his best friend and promptly fell like head over heels in love with his bestie.
Ooh.
And then we got together.
Ooh,
and that was my first love.
A triangle of love. What did your other friend do?
Which one?
The bestie.
The boyfriend. The first boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh no, he left the friendship. So he was like, I hate you guys. Can't believe you've done this.
Obviously, poly wasn't in back in the day.
No, it wasn't trending.
Okay.
So then I got together with that guy, and it was love on another level. Like to this day.
Sorry, how old are you now?
Probably like 15.
Okay, well, okay.
Like
Girl
15.
Girl on the move. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And to this day, people still will talk about that relationship and be like, it's the happiest I've ever been. And like, because it was such innocent fun. Like, we were just absolutely silly with one another.
Cute.
It was very cute.
And are you still in contact with him?
No. I think he cheated on me. Because I went on exchange. And then, or I just became like psycho bitch because I was on exchange. And like, there were all these photos cropping up of him like jawling on Facebook. And I was like, how dare you have fun while I'm in another country? Classic, like, I think I was 16 when we were together for about a year and a half or 2 years, which when you're 15, 16,
it's like forever.
It's a lifetime.
Yeah.
So, but it took me years to get over that relationship.
Shame.
Like literal years. I think into my 20s.
Oh, shame. Were you single in that period?
Absolutely not.
Oh, sorry.
But I just felt very sorry for anyone else because all I was trying to do was like match the energy of that relationship.
Oh, shucks.
With all my follow-up boyfriends. And like I just wasn't finding that like that energy and that high and that thing. Now as an adult, I realize that teenage love is very different to 100%. Adult love.
Yeah, it has to be.
But I think for like a lot of my early relationships in my 20s, I was just chasing that excitement. Yeah. Oh, I was in that man.
But I mean, honestly, if you're like in your teens, I want to say early 20s, but this is where small town's going to disagree with me now. Like, if you're not chasing fun and excitement and just innocence in that matter, then what the fuck are you doing? You're a child.
Yeah.
You are literally a child.
Yeah.
But see, small town view would now be, don't waste your time with someone at that age.
Yes. Unless
because
you're planning marriage.
or they'll start brainwashing you and say, hey, that's a good guy to get married to.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's such a different angle. In some way, I get it, because I think if you sweep them up there, you're in for that 50-year golden anniversary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're in for that. That scares me a little bit, because how the fuck do you know? I mean, how do you know in like
How do you know?
5, 10?
And
Especially between, like, let's say 18, 19 to 30.
anything before 25, you're not actually, your brain's not fully developed enough
No.
to, no offense to those who do get married before 25.
I do think, sorry to interrupt you, but I've gotten this comment before from an older couple that got married like this, and I do think it's hard, because you grow for so much longer through the life phases with someone, which can be amazing, but also incredibly, incredibly, incredibly hard.
Yeah.
Because you change and shift so much, and you have to, especially if you're not a believer of divorce or whatever, you have to really shift and go with it through massive life changes and pivots.
I mean, I met this couple I didn't meet them recently, but I was speaking to them recently because they're celebrating like their 45th year of marriage.
Wow.
And they're so in love, and they're so cute. And I was just like, how have you done this? Like, how have you been together for so long? And they were just like, it's hard work. And like, there are times where we want to kill each other.
Yeah.
But you've made a commitment, and you've chosen one another, and you just choose each other over and over again. You just don't give up on the relationship.
I get that, but all I'm saying is I would 110% get a divorce on 25 years old.
Sorry, in contrast to my mother, who's on husband number 4. Like, I have no foundation for a healthy relationship whatsoever. That's why I'm so flabbergasted by, like, I'm so in awe of this woman that's been married for so long. Because I'm like, at the first sight of drama, my mother's like, bye. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But there's no like sanctity for marriage in my family. Like,
okay, but I think there's a difference between sanctity and marriage, and obviously someone turning out being batshit and the drama and the commitment and the. Sorry, I just want to also rewind. Is like the previous husband your mother had did die. Not like she left him.
Yeah, shame, but
he left her technically.
Yeah.
Technically, if you want to be like.
And now YOLO, she's living her best life.
100%. But I think there's a difference between sanctity and also just not computing. I mean, we can have an episode on this, but I just think if I were to get married at 22, the life I would have curated then versus the life I want now, 2 different worlds. And if I had to have someone to grow with me in that, or he didn't grow with me in that, he just like
wanted the same. He wanted the 22-year-old all the time.
Yeah, and he just regressed. Whatever. I think I would have gone bonkers, and I think I don't blame people for moving on and getting a divorce, because it's hard. But
100%.
That's beside the point. We need to focus on all the boyfriends. Yes, okay. Get back to it. So those were your first 2 loves, and then you went in your 20s, and you obviously still had a great time.
Yeah, I had another boyfriend in my early 20s who made a speech at my 21st birthday. And in the speech mentioned how the only reason he locked in a first date was because he drugged me.
Oh.
Which was, and everyone found it very funny.
But did it happen?
No.
Okay,
no. It was just like a meme. Like, he was like, otherwise he would never have been able to land a date with me.
Well, okay, fine.
Which was hilarious. So that was quite sweet. And then I broke up with it. I've broken up, I think, with every single guy ever since. I think after.
Oh, that's a little nugget we can unpack.
Do we have to though? Like,
not
I don't
yet. Maybe.
So I dated that guy for a while. We actually had a very cool relationship. He was a drummer, which then started my thing for drummers.
Okay.
And then,
where did the thing start for a man in trade?
No, probably when I was 12, and I started dating an electrician.
Fair.
Before I knew it.
Fair. Okay, next.
And then, I don't know what happened in my then I think I got onto online dating.
What online dating existed back then?
Tinder, for sure.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
Sure. Yes.
Tinder, for sure. And, oh, crikey, I can't even tell you what happened between, like, 22 and until I moved in here.
We don't have enough time. Yeah, we don't have enough time.
But, and then I had my last most serious relationship, which was, we have spoken about before, the person who I lived with in Harpe.
Yes.
And that was 2.5 years, and then obviously moved in here, and you saw exactly what happened.
Yeah. was fun.
Then that was my back in my boys era,
Yeah.
where I was just like aggressively dating. Something happened where I went on a date on Women's Day one year
Yes.
with,
Okay. Yes.
and I remember
God, he
rocking
was a character. Sorry, I see him at the gym often, and I'm just like, oh, what were we thinking? Yeah.
Whoa, what a weirdo.
What were we thinking though?
I
I mean, that was
I
sorry.
honestly
Yeah.
couldn't tell you. There was something that like drew me in. I think I was going for like I can't even say what
We
was
can't
happening.
actually say anything.
Can't say
Yeah,
anything without
yeah.
implicating myself.
Exactly.
But
Sorry, I can't actually stop yawning.
and I rocked up at my mother's house because they were doing like
Sorry. I'm just seeing this Oaken gym also so often.
God.
And Bianca, I'm flabbergasted. But you did well afterwards. Like everyone up was a step up afterwards.
Yeah. It was a huge learning curve for like self-worth.
Yeah.
Like I think I realized, okay, I don't value myself high enough
Yes.
after that experience.
Yes. Okay, anyway,
Like
yes.
I need to up the game.
Yes, 100%. Sorry, and then you went to your mother's house?
I went to my mother's house. They were doing like a Women's Day gathering, so it was all the old tunnies. I love how I'm saying tunnies, like
But you
not
were
a
there,
single
yeah.
one is Afrikaans.
Okay.
And I walked in there like, why are you late? And I was like, no, I just went on a date. Oh my God. And he had a panic attack in my car. So that was hilarious. I walked into the thing and I said, I've just had a date with someone who's had a panic attack in my car. And they were all cackling and they thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, because you don't have panic attacks at that age.
No.
You just have more Xanax, you know what I mean?
And then from there, my mother and all of her friends and my godmothers and everyone got really invested into my dating life. And then I thought, like, I've got to deliver. You know, I can't just sit.
I'm so happy I wasn't the only one.
Oh no, there was a whole support
It's community.
crew.
See, there was still community behind it all.
There was, but they just got so injured, like to the point. Remember, they Indian matchmake me with that one guy.
I don't remember the Indian match. Oh, I remember that one. Yeah. Forgot about that one. Sorry.
They never met Tattoo Guy.
Okay.
There was so there was that one. Then there was obviously Aeroplane, which is I'm using his. Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
I hope so. But yes, I think so.
And so just all of those.
Sure.
And that's my dating career to date.
But okay, so just to backtrack, just give us maybe a little synopsis. So what was your dating experience like in school? Like what is there any pressure in big city of how you meet? Like what is the formula, I want to say, for big cities? Is it the same, like if you get your high school sweetheart, amazing, if you go study, you know what I mean? What is the, because I honestly do mean, like if you're coming from a smaller town, because your community is just there, you just have that, and you really, like, even your friendship circles are maybe a little bit different because you only have that pool of people that you can choose from. There's not a lot you can select from.
So I want to say there were definitely like girls that I was at school with who to this day are married to the guys that they were in high school with, that are still only friends with the people that they were in high school with. Like are still working in like mommy and daddy's businesses that they started for them like when they were in high school. Like
I mean, that's a whole can of worms almost by itself.
I know, but like there's
I think you always get that. Sorry to interrupt. I think you're always going to get that one pool. Yeah, sorry.
So, but I would say there wasn't this like intense. I think it was more like an oddity if you met your husband in high school.
Okay.
Like we are all shocked that there are people
but still sticking in the same circle.
Yeah, that
okay,
make so it's like a completely contrasting concept where I'm like, is she really still dating that guy? That's crazy.
Interesting. You see, it's complete polar opposite. So obviously also when online dating became a thing, I remember back in the day, remember the MSN chat rooms,
Yes.
whatever you want to call it.
God.
Were you on there?
Yes. Dude, I once was on there, Sarah and I, like little shits. And we chatting to boys on MSN, like from wherever the world.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea.
I mean, that should have been illegal.
Anyway, does my father not walk into the room at the exact moment that a live video stream of a man showing us his penis starts?
No, you're lying.
No, I'm not lying. It literally, it was like one of the most traumatic experiences of my entire life.
So we're gonna have to spend some time at some point unpacking how the conversation went. That
I feel like it was probably Sarah and I being like,
show us what you
oh,
look like.
no, or like that, or like, yeah, we're having some banana milkshakes for lunch.
And this oak's like, let me show you my banana.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you want me to make your milkshake.
Oh my god.
It was so bad.
But I mean, I think I would say MSN, and even till this day, I mean, up until recently, if I were to go to like old friends or whatever in a small community, like they would obviously always ask, "Are you dating? Are you seeing people? Have you met them in church? Whatever the question is, like, you know, are you in the game?" And then you would go through the stories of actually being online dating, and they would literally be so interested in, because obviously you don't have that as much in a smaller town,
Sure.
or at all.
Yes.
You know. And then the stories that you let out, that they would be like literally hang onto your lips, because like this just sounds so far out to do something like it, it's just not within their comprehension. Because over there, if you have a single friend and you just want to connect them, you just arrange a quick braai on a Friday evening, boom bam, thank you man, Indian matchmaking, everyone's having children, like literally. So it's just a different experience, especially so now you come from that small town to Cape Town or wherever you're staying, whatever, and now this is how I now need to go out into the world and find out a way of how to date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, when I was growing up, I didn't grow up in a family that had the game plan set. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like my family didn't really promote the sense of, okay, cool, remember, this is how your life's going to pan out. You're going to study now in school, then you're going to go and study, and like everyone was too busy, preoccupied with life, traumatic stuff. But I think some families do have that. But not coming from a background of that, or realizing this is how you build your life partner, or you build yourself towards your life partner, you go into online dating, it's horrendous.
Oh, it's horrific.
There should be a manual.
It just shouldn't exist.
Online dating.
Yeah. I don't know. Some people really said that it's super successful.
I know a lot of people that have gotten married. They're friends of mine now, but I mean, they've gotten married meeting on Tinder back in the day.
Because I was going to say, I feel like it can go one of two ways, because either that there's been a culture that, so initially Tinder was designed as like a hookup site.
Okay.
I think it was more towards like short-term hookup vibes.
Okay.
And then what I think happened was like people genuinely started meeting and like developing real relationships, and then there was this really like positive outcome where like it was like, oh, online dating actually works.
But sorry to interrupt, I do think back in the day with MSN and all that, there was also the online chat rooms to meet men and date and get that going.
Gosh, the whole dating.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, I just remembered. I remember back in the day, my mom and some of her Cape Town friends, because she moved to Cape Town at some point while I was in school.
Okay.
That's what they did. So I was exposed to like chat room online dating, but it just looked so much different to what we have now. I mean, now we're swiping. Back in the day, they were pen pals for months, and then they would eventually meet. And it would, I think, for all of them, it was a fuck up. Let's put it out there, like all of them were massive fails.
Sure.
And then later on, the whole Tinder with like the swiping in the app, and like the more modern version came. But it is a flippin' hard thing to maneuver.
The thing that I'm noticing, the thing that I've noticed mostly, I would say in the last year of online dating, is this concept of there's more. Like the grass is green on the other side, or like if this doesn't work, there's another option, and that kind of instills this mindset of like not going in with the right attitude of really building a strong relationship, because like the first sign of a fuck up, it's like, oh well, there's 42,000 other people out there on this online app for me.
Yeah.
And I would be psychotic to say that I have not behaved in that way as well, like where I've seen someone and be like, oh, I don't like that, end the vibe, and then I'm like, oh well, there's so many fish in the sea. But the problem that has now obviously started creating is that like no one is investing the proper amount of time to like genuinely build relationships and get to know people and move past like those awkward initial phases of dating to settle into like a proper solid relationship.
I've always gone into online dating and swiping and being super, super hectic on like, I didn't compromise who I match with. So maybe like my matching links would be like maybe one guy or two guys I chat to at a time. I remember, I think it was your profile, someone else I looked at, and there was like so many connections. And I felt...
Wasn't me.
Wasn't you. But I felt like, oh fuck, maybe I'm doing it wrong. But I for that very reason of like, I'm not going to waste my time as much.
Yes.
And also, I think there's a lot of bullshit out there, like a lot of weirdo bullshit, strange profiles, whatever. So I've gone and I was like super hardcore when I did do it. I was like, no, 102. Yeah, for that very reason of like, there is just so much out there. But there's this famous, I think her name is Logan. I can't remember her surname now. She works for Hinge. She's like a dating expert.
Yes, she did the show Later Daters.
Yes, she did.
Oh my gosh, iconic, guys! Please watch it if you haven't.
Good.
It's so good.
So good. But I also love the Jewish matchmaking show.
Oh,
like I would 100% actually go with a matchmaker like that. If there was someone in Cape Town that did matchmaking like that.
But there is.
But like not for Jewish, because I'm not Jewish.
No. There's matchmaking in Cape Town.
Who's this?
It's the same company that did the event that I went to.
But I mean, they're newish. The young girls running that, isn't it?
Listen,
I want like an old gesoute tannie that is going to matchmake.
Fine.
Not gesoute, but you know what I mean? Like just like
a Tanya Amanda.
Like a Tanya Amanda. I don't, no offense, but I literally, how is a 25-year-old girl going to help me match?
No, they're in their 30s.
Okay, we're going to have to speak about this offline. I might
Fine,
do that.
Off the record.
Yeah, I might do that.
Oh my gosh, update incoming.
But anyway, what was I saying now? Oh my God, so excited about my new matchmaking opportunity that's going to come. What was I saying?
Jewish...
Logan.
Oh, yes.
So Logan actually said, it's the same situation. Like, let's say you're interviewing a lot of assistants. You have 100 candidates sitting there. The problem is that people think they're going to go through all of them and then make their decision. But it doesn't work like that.
Surely you get like interview fatigue.
100, but that's the thing. You get dating fatigue, you get interview fatigue, and like that's the same thing. So she says the formula basically is you make your decision at 33%.
Okay, explain.
So like literally, so let's say you have 100 candidates that you're going to interview, or you're swiping. You are going to go on a couple of dates with people. You're going to get to know yourself in that process. You're going to really zone in on your list, so to speak, of what you're looking for a life partner, and the big boxes will be ticked. And then you're going to commit. You're going to commit to this, and once you've done up until 30% of where you think you're going to find time to date someone, meet people, whatever, you're going to, I don't want to say the word settle, but you're going to commit. That's the range.
Well,
because otherwise you'll never be done.
Choose. Yeah, that's exactly the point.
Yeah, otherwise you'll never be done. But I think that can also go in the wrong way of, look, I don't always agree with how she promotes relationships and everything. It depends on what you're going to go for. But she's just basically saying, again, the dating fatigue, the pool is so big. When do you commit? Like, how do you settle? Am I being too picky?
Exactly. Like, if you're trying to check off a list, like that's never going to be realistic.
Thank you. I have a list as we speak. I'll just take it. I'll just put it in the
burn it in the fireplace.
100%.
Something else that occurred to me as well, which you've probably witnessed a little bit over the last couple of years of my dating, is using dating as a check-in for myself of like my personal growth, and like in the sense of like before, say for example, I felt someone wasn't texting me enough.
Sure.
I would just spiral on that.
Okay.
Now I take that to therapy and I'm like, let's unpack
why
I'm spiraling. And it's been a really cool experience, like using these insecurities that crop up during dating, instead of just putting all of that energy back into the situationship and like expecting to heal myself, actually going with it to my therapist and being like, let's talk about this, and then using it as a way to improve myself, improve where I go forward, what I'm looking for in people. Like, it's constantly shifting. So that's been really...
Yeah, that's cool.
That's been really cool.
I mean, I think when you do go on a date, and especially if you go on to, especially if you pull something like Cape Town that's so cosmopolitan, you go onto this date, you are faced with not challenges, but like new alarming incoming information. So like I went on a date and like I was so alarmed, and I think you know this, but I think I spoke to you about it, but like I was so alarmed and triggered with how different this man is compared to me, my family.
Right.
Remember that?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Remember that? It was
a big
massive
one. Yeah.
And there was a very big learning school for me where I needed to establish my own identity and kind of saying, well, listen, if this is who I'm attracted to, and like he ticks all the personality boxes and he's a good human, whatever the case may be, then this is going to potentially be it, in the sense of there will be massive differences that other people in my life would disagree with massively, majorly. And I'm not saying like core family, I'm saying other factors, and it really wasn't anything bad on this guy's side at all. That's the joke of it. It's at all. But the bottom line is like you have this idea in your head who you're gonna have and meet and marry, and especially I think if you come from a close knit family, you kind of choose someone that's gonna fit and slot in with the family.
Yeah.
And that gets scary also because you lose the fact of who are you genuinely attracted to. How are you seeing and building your life? Like I was definitely in that mix and that flow, and trust me, I think I definitely paid off my therapist's a second holiday home, if not third, with that little nugget.
That was actually something that I wanted to refer to earlier, was also when I mentioned that I walked into the House of Women and I mentioned that I'd gone on this date with this guy who had a panic attack in my car. It was this amazing moment when I realized that I could just be open and honest with my family about my dating experiences.
Yeah, that's
like how this wall came down, this curtain disappeared, and I like now every week I just went in and I was like, oh guys, by the way, I had a date with a guy. Like,
oh wow, did you do that with your family?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm like overly honest with them now about my dating experiences because we just all like the veil has come down.
Okay,
like they're just in it to make sure that I'm having a good time.
See, like again, such a difference. Like my family not the same. I don't think we ever speak about anything. Like I'm actually more anxious ever about saying to them, "Hi guys, I'm seeing someone. We're getting married next week. Do you want to come?" Like it'd be so awkward for me.
That would be one of the biggest contrasts.
Can
maybe
you tell them when I'm gonna go on a date?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Maybe that's a big contrasting point between like small city, or not small city, small town, big city, where like
no, it could just be my family. It could just be my setup. No. But I mean, I think there's many contrasts if you're coming from those different worlds. Like it's just if you are coming from a small knit community and the way people met was in school or after studies or in the dating pool from friendships in that circle. Because I think till this day, I know I have friends that live in that area. And as soon as a new person comes into town, they are ready to match you with whoever is there. There's a bride. I mean, I've been invited, like from Cape Town, 2-3 hours. I've been invited to a bride. I've had my phone number given to people that they meet at the local pub.
Wow.
And just saying, oh, not even checking if this personality is like the same as mine. It's just new fresh meat, another piece of fresh meat. Let's just get you. And like this happened last year.
It's so crazy how like the basis of a relationship kind of goes out the window. Like it's so overrun by this traditional concept of man and woman together.
Survival.
Yeah. But like, so on that note, what is your stance on marry for love versus marry for like, I don't want to say convenience, but like, you know, like there's a thing of, I just saw something on this online the other day about the fact that marriage was never for love.
Yeah.
Marriage has always been for
survival, building a community.
A man needs status, so he'll marry a queen or princess, and then he gets, you know, like there's always a payoff in one or the other direction, and love comes afterwards. And I'm kind of like, shit, have I been doing it wrong this whole time? Because
did you need to marry for status? I want to say that I'll be a bit maybe offend a couple of people, but I want to say there's definitely some small towns in this country of ours and in the world. Think about America, Mormon, and all those things that are definitely arranging and getting married for status, to have a wife, to have a husband. There's definitely people getting married because they've been taught that's the safest thing to do. As a woman, especially, you're raised to say, I mean, this is something I'm almost quote unquote deconditioning for myself, that unless you don't get married, you're not going to be safe in future. You won't have a nice future. You'll be risky. It's like you're unsafe in the country to sleep alone in a house, whatever the case may be. So that's definitely some conditioning, maybe not directly said, but what is the word, like subliminally kind of messaged, implied throughout everything. That is definitely something I feel that's happening till this very day. So I mean, I am the person that is marrying absolutely for love and my bestie.
Yes.
I think, as I just said, because of conditioning and because of what we've seen when we grow up, especially coming from a small town, and then it still happens, but like marriage for safety was definitely in the back of my mind.
Right.
Because remember, you grow up and you see your dad paying for everything, or you see your dad doing stuff.
I didn't have that.
Yeah, sorry to say that. It is quite shocking. But like that is what the movies also teach you.
100%.
So that's what I'm saying. The messaging is across the board is there. now I'm very much thinking, not really, mate. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in some conversations with couples that maybe have done it for love, have done it for the prestige, have done it for the safety, have done it for that's what you should do. And they're like maybe a bit older, like 55, 60. And I know the wives are not unhappy, but I know they're dealing with a lot of frustration and they've had to put aside a lot of the things they want to do, a lot of their purpose, I want to say. They couldn't desire, this is my desire, my purpose to kind of go into that hobby or that business. They couldn't do that because I want to say the husbands almost didn't allow or make space for it, which is it's so sad. Like, I remember I was in a situation like that a year ago with a family friend, and I just looked at the wife and my heart shattered because, she was so much older. She's done everything that she could. And
raised the family, built the house.
Alice,
yeah.
And this guy looks great. Sorry, this woman looks absolutely fantastic in the community. And she can't get her design out. Like, I almost felt it was her turn because obviously, it was just the right time. And she couldn't.
Wow.
And that was flipping sad for me. Like, I was shattered for her. And it was something I noticed. I was like, okay, cool. So everything is built in this situation, in the system, that there's no you. Yeah. But this is, again, someone that's been in a relationship, I think, for like 30 plus years. Like, this is from our school special.
Old school mentality.
But in the same breath, I just want to add is that they did decide, they did choose, they're going to have children. This is the formula we're going to do it. Like, hypothetically, she's going to stay home and raise the kids. So that there was a choice in it. But then when it got to a different time, there wasn't much left for her, which is kind of, that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
So going back to the question, love or security or practicality even.
Yes.
I am unfortunately that hopeless romantic, but, fluttering my eyes exactly like both of us getting the same orange from the shelf. They would want to do it for love and to have a bestie.
Right.
And support.
Yes.
Definitely in that. I mean, I say support, emotional support and fun support. Obviously, financial support would be fucking amazing if a rich husband calls in if there's a rich husband out there watching this, I'm not going to deny you. But that won't qualify you by itself. Sorry to interrupt. Whereas I think in the small communities, in some systems and setup, that is a good big qualifier by itself.
Sure.
Indian arranged marriages is like that.
Yes.
Come from a good family, go.
And the thing is, so
you learn to love.
Well, that's the point, and they actually do.
They do, 100%.
I mean, the limited exposure I've had to matchmake Indian couples.
But tell me, what is your take then on that?
So I was chatting to this guy that I've had 2 dates with the other night, and the conversation of kids came up. I know, quite a big topic, because I very nonchalantly slipped in there.
But just hold up, pause for a minute. What is your stance on kids? Everyone understands?
I don't want them.
Okay, I'm the same.
But I might have been convinced otherwise.
Exactly. Go on. Yeah.
Okay, so
I support you in this conversation. All I'm saying, I just want for everyone to understand, neither of us want kids.
Yeah.
However, continue.
So I was talking about this holiday house that I was at for the weekend and how amazing it was that the family were just coming in and out, and it's this community, this little unit. It was really cool. And then I was very much unfortunately, I'll never have that because I don't want to have kids. Conversation went on, and then moments later, maybe 5 minutes later into the conversation, he's like, I'm sorry, can we just...
Oh, wait, okay, go. I was just wondering that he skipped that.
Yeah, so he backtracked, he's like, so you don't want children? I'm like, no, why would I? The world is fucked. I don't want to experience loss. I don't want to deal with there's so many factors for me personally in my experience between I don't even know if I'd be able to be a mother because I don't know how mothers are supposed to be. I'm such an orphan,
Just get the violin out for her. Next.
And I listened and I was and also I can barely look after myself. I'm still trying to build up my own life. How am I now meant to bring someone else in and look after them and pay for school fees? And I'm just not there yet. And he basically made the point that he was first of all, the environment's going to be fine. He was humans are really good at adapting.
Yeah.
And then he was okay, cool. So you spend your whole life going on holiday and living the best life. Where are the challenges? Where are you growing in that? If you're not struggling to pay school fees, how are you growing? and
I
how,
just so much want to reply to that, but go
and
on.
I was like, okay, David Goggins.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean,
like we don't all have to do hard things
no,
all the
but I'm
time.
sorry. That, I mean, are you gonna chip in there?
Sure.
That is such a nice thing to say to someone that had fuck all hardship in their life.
Right.
Because they need the challenge in future.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you've had a fucking hectic childhood and adolescence and trying to figure out your life in this world, you are tired already. I don't need to struggle to pay school fees. I struggle to pay for myself as it is. I don't need that struggle.
I
So
know.
I get what he's saying, but you know, this is actually a green flag, which just means and shows he comes from a very good, solid foundation and family.
I know. And like, if you're gonna start a family with someone, you want it. You want that kind of person.
You need the balance, right?
You need
but
the balance.
Don't say to me like, "Oh, where's the challenge in life?" I've had a challenging life. This is like peak at this point.
I'm ready for just margaritas on the beach.
I deserve margaritas on the beach. I don't need to flip and wipe a diaper now.
No.
But in the same breath, I must just say, so for years, I was very much like, no, kids. I was very hard ass about it, and then basically, I realized that if you have a great partner by your side, how quickly that thought can switch in your mind, because then it feels possible. Again, going back to that question when you said to me, do you get married for security or love? But there's something knowing that you have a partner and a person by your side is providing you with some sort of security, safety net, emotionally, physically, financially, alle goedjies, that would actually open up the thought of now saying, gosh, maybe I would consider having a child if this is going to be my life with this person, and this person is upgrading my life to be able to open myself up to that. Then sure, then everything's going to change. You know what I mean? So I mean, I totally understand how you would not flip your point of view, but how you would actually start asking yourself that question, like, okay, cool, why did I make that statement?
I mean, let's go on our third date before I commit to having the man's child.
Please. But all I'm saying is, if that child comes into existence, Sunny Elsj will be in swing. She'll most likely be in the delivery room. He won't have to stand outside. You're apparently only allowed your partner.
Listen, I barged into the
delivery room.
I'll make a special concession. You are my partner.
Thank you. I'll be on the other side of the bed.
We wives.
Exactly.
Sister wives.
Yeah. God. But I mean, that's an interesting little nugget and note. But I know when I go into dating, whatever, and I see someone that either has already children, because I don't want that. It's so much drama.
So much drama.
I don't connect on that. And if they want children, if they like very explicitly say want children, I'm like, goodbye.
So I think that's the thing, is like, I'm not gonna say that I want a child, but if 5 years down the line I'm in like a really cool relationship and my life is
this relationship,
I don't know.
Anyway,
are we gonna have a podcast, baby?
Oh my god! Can we get a mini dress made? Oh my god! I feel we actually can make mini dresses made for our cats and our dogs.
I was literally that was my next.
You know, we've had requests on this dress.
I mean,
they love it.
I know. We know we've told people where it comes from.
100%. But now we have merch.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, we need to get the logo branded on here.
No, this is the logo. Anyway, but I mean that kind of ring fences online dating and dating, right?
Kind of. I feel like we have another like 10 episodes.
We have 16 episodes, and that is the amazing thing about us in this little body. We will never be able to run out of content when it comes to boys and dating. Even though this is not a dating podcast, but it is our life.
I've got so much experience.
But I think I think just bottom line, whoever's out there, there's 2 single girls that you can use this for as your profile for online matching. Should we both go for okay, you can't do it now, but I
can.
Okay, fine, you can.
I'm not in a relationship. I've been on 2 dates with this person.
Okay, fine. Should we go for like a little matchmaking session?
Sure.
Should we go and like just have a consultation, a coffee date? I'll totally do it. Not this month though. We're very busy this month.
No, this is not the month. But we'll get there. I'm amped. I've got the connection.
I think we should need to do it before we get locked in, so someone can go with me on this little thing.
No, it's fine. I'll do it. Even if I really got locked in, I'll tell the person that I was doing it, and they would probably be okay with it.
Just for my sake, he can also come along actually. Then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the more the merrier. I just need moral support.
No, I'll be too jelly.
That's fine. That's fair.
Okay,
that wraps it.
It kind of wraps it. Quick one. Online dating. 2 out of 10 recommend.
2 out of 10 recommend. But the issue is just how do you
don't recommend.
You don't recommend. You don't recommend. But like the issue just is, it is a way of meeting people, and also it's a way to discover your own dating style, what you like. I learned a lot when I did it.
I have a friend who goes to paddle 5 nights a week. Do proper social sports or
All
like
I'm
social
saying
activities.
is paddle is now the highest injury sport out there. Physio surgeons, literally my surgeon in December City had made so much money because of paddle. Because stupid people go and play. Unfit stupid people go and play because they most likely want to meet their husbands and they're like, oh, being cute, and they break a fucking ankle. Anyway, next, yeah.
Okay. Dating singles events.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like 8 out of 10 recommend.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Small town bras.
Listen, I still love that. Because the thing is, if you have a good network and a good friendship community, they will source to the benefit of you. Unfortunately, I haven't experienced that. I've just had my numbers thrown around in pubs. But like, all I'm saying is there is magic in it. If you have a nice net community, then I am missing that element of life, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I miss that, but like not in the Mormonish way.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would. So
I would do that. If someone had to have a cool bra and there's cool people there, what a great way to meet. It's like a singles event, but just with married people inviting their single friends.
Right.
Totally get
More
it.
targeted.
More target market audience.
Yeah.
Now you're speaking my language. The problem just is that what happens is people just throw you in the mix of like, oh, you're single and he's single, done. That's not how that works. Like, we're two people, you know, they have some respect in how you don't do that, 100%. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Your network who sets that up for you needs to be special.
Going to Pound the Glory on a Friday night.
There's no fucking well go to Pound on a Friday night. That's disgusting.
Don't recommend.
Don't recommend, no.
So I think that wraps up our dating episode.
That wraps it up. I mean, what a little insightful nugget for the people out there.
Yeah, just to get to know us a little bit better and understand our views on dating.
Can't wait for your third date. When is your third date?
It's either Friday or Sunday.
Have we not locked it in?
No, but it's dependent on my schedule. So he's just waiting.
God, are we playing games here?
It's not games. I was very upfront with him. I said, these are my 2 days that I might have available. I'll let you know by Thursday.
By Thursday? No, B. I mean, can I get his number and I'll arrange, bro. Come, let's go. Anyway, on that note.
Thank you very much.
It's very early. Bed and boys.
Boys
in bed.
When last?
Whenever.
Okay, bye.